asking about the sign earlier, and I said, well, when I was over there, it was very much open, but I didn't look to
Did they give
see
you-
if there was any
did
work
they
being done.
Give the township any sort of update?
I don't know. Beth didn't tell me anything about it.
Because I thought,
Here, Garrison, I haven't heard from him, but we'll get started. So, all right, I'd like to call the meeting to order for Monday, June 17, 2024 at 6:03 PM. If everyone could please stand, face the flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. All right, Susan, could you please do roll call?
Hetmer,
present?
Layton,
Present.
Reardon, LaRose, here. Andres,
Here.
Walsh,
Here.
Stasinski. Here.
Thank you, Susan.
You're welcome.
All right, moving down to the agenda, can please review for any conflict of interest. All right, if there's no conflict of interest, move forward with the approval of the agenda.
Make a motion to approve the agenda for Monday, June 17th, 2024.
I'll second that.
I guess probably should have noted there were no bylaws in the packet.
Yeah.
I did forget about that. So, do we want to maybe talk about those in July?
Yes.
So, okay.
So we're going to
So-
remove the bylaw.
Yes, we're going to remove the bylaws from tonight's meeting. So, do we need to make a new motion? Or can we just,
Well, I'm okay with the
Okay,
change.
okay.
If you're the motion maker, and I'm okay with it.
okay. So if everyone's okay with that, we'll go ahead with the approval of the agenda for Monday, June 17, 2024, with the removal of 9C bylaws, and we'll move that to the July meeting. All in favor?
Yeah.
Any opposed? All right. Moving on to public comment. I think there's no public, so we'll move on. Move on to the approval of the minutes. We have two sets of minutes here, one from the May 15th park tour special meeting minutes, and then the May 20th regular meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we approve the special tours of the parks minutes, and that was the 15th. It says March 15th. Why does it say March 15th, though?
Oh, yeah. We also, yeah,
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that really was April 15th.
No, it was May
May
15th.
15th.
Oh, okay. So, May, let me look here.
Yes, because the
Yep.
20th was the meeting, and we
Yep.
already talked about it.
Yeah, so
With the exception of changing it from March to April, or excuse me, May 15th. And that was the special meeting parks tour.
Get it correct in the bottom.
Yeah.
And so I make a motion to approve that with that one change of the month. And then I do make a motion also to do our Monday regular parks meeting, May 20th. Move to approve those.
support. All right, motion by LaRose to approve the minutes from the May 15th park tour special meeting with the adjustment from March 15th to May 15th, and also the May 20th regular meeting minutes, and supported by Andrus. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, motion passes. Correspondence, I do believe there was only one email from Carol regarding some information, learning type thing with waterways. I believe that was the only thing, and I believe that was on Saturday the 15th, so that is now passed. But
And then I don't know if Claire, well, I got it, so I'm assuming
Oh.
Claire included on some training, that, like, board training from
MSU
MSU Extension.
Yeah.
So that email went out as well.
Yeah, and that looks interesting. I just have to kind of coordinate with my boss on that.
looked like there was 3 dates available, and it was an online.
Is it a series or
Oh, was it all three?
is it a series? I think it's a series.
Yeah, it's a series, but you can do one, you can pick and choose, but it had, like, open meetings, parliamentary procedure, and something else. I think it would be good if you haven't had any board training, just to go through any of them that you can for that.
Yep.
MSU Extension's been really good with that stuff too, so I've always had good classes through them.
Same here.
Yeah. So I guess everyone, please reference that email from Claire.
When was
And
the date you had to turn that, or notify her? I think it's, I want to say, does it start in July?
It starts in August.
It just went out not long ago, right?
Yeah, so you can register, does it have a deadline for registration? It does not, but they have it runs either August or December. So if you don't get registered for August, there's some opportunities for December as well to take that. So, yeah, open meetings, parliamentary procedure, and components of extraordinary governance are the 3 different things. They're for an hour, kind of at lunchtime, on Zoom for you, so.
there's a whole flyer attachment on that email
Yeah.
as well.
And they just ask that you sign up for them and then get reimbursed, just because you have to individually register with your name through their portal, so.
Awesome. All right, if there's nothing else on that, we'll move on to reports. Treasurer's report. Unless Garrison's not here.
There's a report in your packet.
Yeah.
Just new formats,
Yeah.
not the greatest.
Do we need these couple of pages going over payroll?
I think that's how the new system,
Right.
is how it creates the report.
Oh, so I see, there's like a summary there, so we can't just like get rid of them. I was just thinking about saving paper.
Yeah,
What
I'm
do
not,
we
I'm not an
usually
account.
spend that, the 2,000 for the little libraries? What do we usually spend that money on?
We put money in there to upgrade a couple of them. Beth had found a couple of examples. I can't remember how much they were, but to basically replace the whole little library.
Are we registered through the Little Free Libraries?
I do not know that. I can take a look at it, though.
Yeah, because it's kind of neat. You can actually track a book, wherever it may end up. It's kind of neat.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Okay.
Didn't we have a volunteer, I know she moved out of the area, but she had identified a couple of little libraries that needed some maintenance, or I think some of them needed to be fully replaced. Is that on the docket for, I mean, it's nice warm weather now, maybe a good time to do that?
Yeah, I can check with Beth to see what the plan was on that, as far as if Dan was going to be working on that, or kind of what the schedule was.
Yeah, I don't think there were too many expenses since our last meeting. I don't know if anyone has any other questions on the,
Are we looking for a volunteer to help with keeping those stocked and stuff?
You know, I wasn't aware that the person that was doing it had left, so I'm sure we're always looking for volunteers.
So I might know one.
Okay.
I wasn't gonna volunteer.
Yeah, I would connect them with, if you want to send them towards Beth, or if you have information and want me to give it to Beth, I'm happy to.
I might just ask them first.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sure they'll take any kind of help to make sure they're stocked and,
Yeah, and I don't think it's a huge time commitment, but it is a time commitment, so.
Maybe we could split those up. I might help someone else.
Well, the person I'm thinking of works in the library, so that's kind of up their alley pretty much, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I know, and Corey's been pretty good about getting books through the school system, so it'd be nice to have that connection.
All right. Well, if there's no more questions on the treasurer's report.
Oh, I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Capital outlay, Gibbs Park, 3258, what was that, ish?
What line item is that?
That one,
Oh, I see.
30, Wade Trim.
Oh, am I not seeing where it says wage trim?
Oh, it's
Look
just
up.
the up above it goes
Oh,
into the below
gotcha,
it.
sorry, yep, thank you, okay.
Sidewalk picnic.
yeah. Those Wade Trim's work for
I
prepping
think
for the
design
project.
and probably the bid, letting of the bid and all that.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Moving on to staff report.
Sure, so we are working on game night for Grace McDonald Park right now. There's an ice cream vendor and working on a food vendor for the game night out there. Beth did send an email looking for $1,500 for the event to cover games that can be used either, for the farmer's market and the library, for Parks Commission as well, and then hopefully being able to hold those over, and this will be something that maybe we can do a couple times next summer at Grace McDonald.
But also, that library, at the township meeting, just last week, they have games you can rent and
Right.
outdoor games.
And that's what Beth has reached out to the library to see if they have some that we can borrow. And then if not, or we need something additional, looking to purchase that, and then some other items for that.
Yeah, it would be nice to have that stuff on hand for events, and it sounded like that could be used for the farmer's market and stuff too, so.
Right. Yeah, and could be, the farmer's market kind of is falling under the Parks Commission, as well, as part of that food incubator with the community garden and that component of it. So I think it would be additional opportunities to use that once
Make
purchased.
sure you have a sign-out sheet, because wherever our banner went to is never come back. When we had a Parks banner.
No.
Yeah, I think that, you were here, Corey, weren't you? Yeah. Somehow it got lost in the fire department pancake
Oh,
thing, or.
Yeah.
Then it just sort of poofed.
yeah. Yep, so, does anybody have any trouble with that for the budget and to buy the games and things like that?
No, I
Any
think we
concerns?
can, it's worth
As long
our,
as you get Twister.
I'll make sure that they know that's the requirement, Twister.
I think it's worth to have a handful of those games to,
Something too that you can do in the wintertime, like with our sledding party.
yeah,
That sort of goes along with.
Yeah, if there's something that could,
Something.
Snowball makers or.
yeah.
Whatever.
I think some of them could extend depending on the, the weather, because you could even do like cornhole in the winter if it's packed down, right? Or like the,
Pavilion.
the
Connect Four, or
Okay.
the ladder
Sounds
ball.
like-
the blocks you stack, Jenga.
Jenga.
You didn't see that?
Yeah, I think we used to call it stack attack. I don't have a yard size one, but I really want to make one.
Yeah.
Something like that would be kind of fun to have
Right.
too. And those are at least, I think they're like $80.
Yeah, I saw one at Home Goods that wasn't too bad. It wasn't that big though either.
Yeah,
But
I'm talking like a 3-foot.
yeah, this one was not, I don't think it was that tall. Because I almost bought it just for game night, even though, because I saw it and I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I don't know
And
if that's
then
big
I
enough.
just bought last year a bocce.
Oh,
And, yeah,
bocce
with
ball is
lights.
fun.
So that would be good.
I was recently exposed to Can Jam
Okay.
over
Frisbee.
this past weekend. What?
The Frisbee.
Yeah, and that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'd like to throw out a recommendation for
Okay.
Can Jam.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
And then everybody saw, well, and you had mentioned this, the email about not getting the grant. So I'm still looking for other opportunities.
Yeah, I usually get time to look at that stuff, but we've been crazy busy.
Yeah, and this grant from MDOT, we didn't get, they were working on getting us access so we could see how we scored. So we haven't seen that part, just knowing that we didn't get it. So maybe we'll get some additional details to why or how, so.
Any more, Sarah?
Nope,
Okay.
that's it.
All right, moving on to business before the Parks Commission, 9A Parks Projects.
So this came out of your list from your Parks Tour last month. These were a couple of items to try to improve or add to the site. So Beth had worked through this. She worked with Dan to figure out how many were needed for replacement. So this is the list of items for that. If you looked at this online, you could see exactly what they looked like with these links here. But just to add these in here, something Zach asked me just before the meeting, and I don't have an answer, is if these are all coming out of the parks budget, or if it's split up in some different way or out of other funds, and I do not have that answer for you. If that's something that's important, that you know exactly where it comes from, then we would need to come back to this at a later date.
Was it coming from our 30,000?
Well, for Grace, I would imagine that part would, Killingsworth would have to come from a different line item.
I mean, the 17,000 for Grace, definitely would, I think, come out of the Grace McDonald funds. But at Killingsworth, I do not believe we have a budget there.
And it says, with the additional charge is the shipping.
Mhm.
So if you factored, I don't know, 10% high, I guess, that's really almost $2,700. Or 27,000.
Is Killingsworth more of a, like a one-time purchase and we're good for a little bit kind of deal? Or
Yeah.
is Grace McDonald does more of a routine maintenance stuff that we have to keep up with each year? So I'm wondering, maybe we'd have a need a line item for Killingsworth.
No, that's why we don't, because this would be just a one-time thing to spruce it up, and we should get a lot of years out of the new stuff. So I wonder if we can put that into the Grace McDonald funds.
Yeah, I think, we have some of them called out here, and in the end, it matters that you don't go over for the whole budget versus the line item, and so I guess I kind of leave that to the treasurer and the clerk to
Yeah.
figure that part out. Something that would be nice is that, with the shipping, if you can kind of do more together, I think the shipping would be better versus kind of because it's going to come freight, right, versus doing a smaller order at a later time, so wrapping Killingsworth in with the larger Grace order. I mean, the shipping will be more, but I think overall would be more cost-effective for you than just the smaller order for Killingsworth.
Well, I think 10% for shipping, so I got a total of 26,950, so 27,000 total.
Well, we've got like 50 for Grace, so that's about half of it. Is that right?
I say, give me a sec, I could probably calculate it really fast. So I'm guessing we're probably purchasing from Uline. Is that probably something we purchased?
I didn't
Picnic
think it
table.
looked like Uline.
I thought I saw somewhere that we purchased a picnic table from Uline before, so.
Oh, that was, I think, for the farmer's market.
Yeah,
Oh.
I think these are up
Gonna
to
be different.
Parks grade, you know what I mean?
I was gonna say, if it's, because picnic tables are pretty pricey, so, you know, I feel like that 7,500 number is pretty close to being accurate, as best, close as possible, I imagine.
Yeah.
Probably still
It's
have
a
to.
lot, I mean, just, I know, they're expensive and we need a lot. I mean, we need them.
I mean, trash cans go for about 1,000 too. It's just,
I know. And they were very specific on that tour. That he wanted certain trash.
Yeah, you wanted them,
Yeah.
Yeah, they're doing them from Treetop Products.
oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
So the picnic tables are about $1,500.
does it have the shipping in there?
Not really, let's see.
I mean, we always come back. I think 27,000 she covered with shipping. At a 10%, and to me, that's even high, but I understand it's coming freight.
Okay, we just approved that.
And I think
The
Beth
dollar
probably
amounts.
picked out the ones over there for Arbutus, and they're very, very nice. So I have no doubt that these are very, very nice.
I mean, would the shipping slow you down from wanting to order them? I mean, I think
Yeah,
that,
no matter
right,
what.
okay,
Yeah, why don't we?
Well, it says not
approve
to
the dollar
exceed blank
amounts?
plus shipping, not including shipping.
Right.
So,
if you're comfortable doing it that way, where it's not to exceed, and then plus whatever the shipping cost is,
yeah,
or if you feel that you need to put a dollar amount for shipping, I'd do, 10 or 15%.
So that's $2,450, $24,500.
Mhm.
And then shipping would be another $2,450 or $2,500.
I just say,
But
do it at the 24,500 plus whatever the shipping is. Cannot,
Okay.
I cannot,
But that
yeah.
doesn't really lock it into $2,400.
Right.
yeah.
Or
Well,
more or less.
I mean, you really can't control what the shipping costs are gonna be,
I'm sure it's gonna be minimum $1,000 to $2,000, so,
yeah.
if we're all
I think they would
okay.
include shipping.
Yeah, I think it's,
I mean, really?
right,
For a picnic table.
yeah. Good.
That's right. So we could go exactly 2,450, or we could do 25,000. I mean, 24.
Well, we could do the 24,500
To not exceed
and
27.
then to include shipping on top of that, you know. I'm trying to think of a good way to word that.
Well, that's
Oh,
what the
not to
proposal already
exceed
says. It
I think,
says
yeah.
Not to exceed blank plus shipping.
Oh,
Yeah,
plus, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I
Okay.
don't think we really need to address
Okay.
the shipping if we're gonna approve the
I have an idea.
proposed amount.
I think, yeah, the shipping is something that we can't control, but like, I trust the staff, selected, I'm sure they considered value and price and everything when they selected these specific items. So I like putting in the 24,500, 24,500. I'd be comfortable with that, plus shipping.
You making a motion?
I'd like to make a motion
Go for it,
to
Ryan.
authorize the purchase of an updated park features for an amount not to exceed 24,500 plus the shipping costs.
I will second that.
All right. Motion made by Walsh to approve the purchase of the updated park features to not exceed $4,500 plus shipping, and second by Hetmer. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right. Motion passed. All right. Business before the Parks Commission, 9B, the quarterly report. It's attached in the packet as well. So this would be, when is that
I think it's
June?
July 8th.
Or
It's
July.
July 8th, yep. And I think what Corey and Ally, you were going to that meeting?
Yeah.
And this is what I came up with for the report, but this is a draft, so we can add to it, you can change it, whatever this is your report to the township board. We did do one last quarter, so when I'm looking back through the minutes, I'm like, well, I feel like we didn't have a lot of action items that were happening or that the board didn't already know or approve. So I was trying not to be too repetitive, but, yeah, feel free.
Do they get notified like when you don't get grants and stuff, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that Holiday Woodlands group gonna continue meeting?
That's, yeah, that stakeholder group, no, they're just meeting the one time to talk about the survey. They may meet another time, but it's not a real active kind of group, for
Oh, yeah, I
that.
just meant that one group that was put together. I mean,
Mm.
is there another scheduled meeting? I just want to make sure I'm not missing
Nope,
something.
you're fine right now. No, we're going to, so that survey is gonna be advertised in the newsletter. It'll be open for a little while, and then we'll close it to try to generate some ideas, and then have an open house probably in the fall to get some input on those ideas.
Okay.
Yeah, what have we done this first quarter? I think with the parks tour, we went through very detailed of things that we can do immediately, which obviously now we have an order created of items. We also talked about suggestions within the parks, with Grace McDonald and Killingsworth off of that tour, so that pretty much took care of the end of the quarter. And really, the beginning of the year did a lot of emphasis on the community garden, and Sam did the rules for that, and then ran with the farmer's market. So, actually, we've done quite a bit. Waiting for Arbutus Lake to open the doors, which they are open now. And working on Jen's.
Isn't today the day the applications for the community member for the food security
Oh, yeah, they-
committee are due?
Don't remember if they were due
Oh, yes.
today. I think it was today,
I think
yeah.
it is today. Who will be reviewing those?
I'm not sure. I think that they were headed to Beth, and then I don't know if she'll be providing, maybe at the next meeting, a list of people that have applied. I don't know the process that it's moving forward after applications are received.
Yeah, it closed today at June 17th at 5 PM.
Was the conversation around that multi-purpose field, was that a new conversation that was going to continue, or was that just like an idea?
That was an idea from the Parks tour. I think we
You and Grace?
discussed it, yeah, yeah. We discussed it on the 20th a little bit as well. I don't know. Further discuss it or not, I know. It's a
possibility.
it's a dedicated field for sports, and then, yeah.
We had a
Learning little
discussion
more
about,
history of the sky. It seems like it's, I'd like to read up more on this, kind of honor the dedication as much as possible.
Yeah.
It seems like it
No,
makes sense.
I mean,
but-
that would be a sore subject, kind of, in this whole thing as a dedicated field, turning it into something else.
It's a
But-
big field though, so.
Yeah. 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 I guess it can go either way. We can continue discussing about it, or,
Well, last month, we had the idea came up to do like a user survey with folks who use the space and see what do you think would be more valuable here in this space in our community.
TCAPS doesn't need it. They have no demand for an all-purpose field. That's just TCAPS.
And that's what Beth said. She was going to reach out to a couple of organizations to see if there was any interest from them or if they knew about it, just in general, to see for value there. Because I think it's hard to know who to reach out to or how to advertise it, to know if there is
Yeah,
use for
I
it.
could Connect with her too and give her, at least 3 organizations that would be interested.
Yeah, I think that'd be helpful if you could send her an email with lists, and if you know any, who the contact or anything, to get started on that.
Because, I mean, we're at a point where we can't accommodate people on our field.
Mm-hmm.
And, we have to turn some people away because it'll be too much.
Right.
So,
I think if we want to continue using it as a sports field, we might have to market it a little bit, make it known that it's in an available
Oh.
space.
And, it wouldn't hurt to make sure it's a usable space. I don't know
Yeah,
how
yeah.
beat up
Well,
it is.
Yeah, it definitely needs some TLC, but
Does the subcontractor mow that then?
I believe so.
Either, the subcontractor
Looks like it
or,
gets mowed.
yeah.
and then
Yeah, it's
watered, too.
very well maintained.
Speaking of mowed, Arbutus still needs to be mowed. The slide and the spring toys and the swing, it's overgrown.
Well, I think that they were just talking, last weekend the park wasn't open, this weekend it was open type of thing,
Yeah,
so.
I think
It's
it
been open
just,
for over a week,
Yeah.
because it was open last weekend.
I was there a week ago Sunday, and it was not open. There were people there.
Right.
It was all roped off. People were parked on the side of the road, and they
That
were
was Sunday.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was just up the road at graduation party. I'm like, oh, it's open. I see them. I'm like, no, it's not.
I think that's just an easy conversation.
whoever-
Dan and Beth need to mention to the contractor to go over there now that it's open, because they wouldn't have had to do it for a good year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
So-
that's what, I just think that it's
It's-
gotta hit the right rotation on it.
Yep. Contractor might not be aware that it's open, so,
Is he mowing lawns?
yeah. Yeah. Is there anything else for the quarterly report?
No, just if there's anything additional you want me to put on there before I turn it into Beth for the packet.
I think it's good. I don't know if we want to maybe just make note of,
That's
I-
for next month, right? For
Yeah.
July's meeting.
Well, this will be for the board's July meeting, which it will happen before your July meeting, so. Bless you.
Right.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I suggested Sarah add the expense that we just approved today, the stuff for Killingsworth and Gracie McDonald, throw that in there.
Yeah, that's,
Sure.
I mean, that's.
Yeah, that's follow-up from our tour.
Park tour,
Yeah, yeah.
which they have to approve anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a great addition to it's an improvement, it's what you're doing, it's moving things forward, so.
Yeah.
all right.
And you could put in there, we're trying to figure out where to put the zip line.
In the lake.
Oh.
All right. If there's nothing else on that, we can move on to public comment. Or,
Can I just add?
Yeah.
I know we took it off the agenda, but is the bylaw conversation going to be more just reviewing them for approval kind of a thing? Or is it?
yeah, you weren't here a meeting or two ago when they were here.
Yeah.
So, we wanted to discuss it with everyone.
Okay.
And Garrison's not here, but I don't think he, can't speak for him, but I don't think there was any concerns. But it'd be nice to have everyone.
I think it was just, they hadn't been reviewed in a while,
Mhm.
and they're always adapted, but
Right.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was the concern.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I can just bring it forward on the next, I don't think there was anything pressing on them, but just to have that final blessing on them.
Yes, I think you brought it up to
Yeah.
discuss it, so
Yeah.
we wanted to have you here.
I just wanted to make sure, whatever guidelines that we created for ourselves, that we were following them, because I
Yeah.
know the voting of the
Oh.
officers was late, and
So I,
That's why they're not in there too, is that Sam was doing a review of them to see about how they meshed with the other boards and commissions within the township. And it's all coming back to me now. So I had sent him an email asking about it, and he was on vacation, and he's still on vacation. So that's
Okay.
why they're not in the packet.
gotcha.
Makes sense.
It seemed really weird when I said, I was like, I didn't put that in there. So if he gets those done, I'll have them for our next meeting, just to make sure, like I said, they're consistent between the different boards and commissions
Okay.
where necessary, and then you can break off where needed.
Now, will you continue, Sarah, up the road here as being like the coordinator between the supervisor and us? Do you know, or?
I don't know the details yet.
Wait, what did I just
why would
miss?
that change?
Well,
You heard everything.
It hasn't changed, but I think the township voted to
Right.
have a position open that would be
Yeah.
Oh,
part.
instead of using you guys as a consulting firm?
Well, they're hiring a planner and special projects person, and I don't think that it's all the details are worked out for how that,
They're hiring a what?
like a deputy planner.
Oh, I was
Planner-
gonna say, where's
plan-
Claire going?
No, yeah, so to work with Claire as a planner, special projects, and I think it'll probably depend on whoever gets selected and what their strengths are, and then also demand, because they've had additional people in the office, Sam's been the CEDAM fellow, and, still, there's some capacity still that can be picked up, so depends on what that looks like. I think they're looking for application, maybe hiring for a start in August or September, so stay tuned.
But I think that person would be for the parks, for meetings or something like that.
Right, because I think they'd be working with the farmer's market and the community garden stuff, and so it would make sense for them to staff the Parks Commission if they're doing that work too. But like I said, it all depends, I think, on what their skill level is and comfort level with whoever they hire. So, yeah.
All right. If there's no more discussion on anything on the parks, I'd like to move on to public comment. There's no public. The next meeting date would be July 15, 2024, 6 PM. And then, yeah.
Yeah, and right now, the only thing I have would be the bylaws discussion. I don't know if there's anything else that we need to talk about right at the moment. I don't know if we'll have appointments for that.
Hopefully Gens will be done when we come back.
So what will we do?
Jones.
Gens, I say Gens.
Yeah,
Jen?
Gens,
so,
Gens.
okay.
Yeah, and I have in my notes from the tour that they were supposed to start June 1st.
Right,
Which is why we weren't opening it.
Yeah.
right.
So somebody knows something, but we are not that.
You know
somebody.
what I think is, I think like the gate, I almost think that the gate was closed Memorial Day weekend, but then that was open and like nothing's going on. I was like, what is going on? So,
There's no
I-
trucks or anything?
no,
No, it
The
just
loon
looks,
sign is up at number 5.
oh, I was gonna ask, yeah, well, that's good.
Forget what Wade Trim said when they were here last. I thought it had to be done from June 1st. I forget the deadline.
Yeah, they said once they start, it has to be done within so many days,
Yeah.
and it has to be open for 4th of July. So if they didn't start it within a certain day period in June, then they won't be starting it until later in the year.
oh, I bet that's
No,
what they're
it
gonna do.
doesn't happen.
Oh.
Was there some sort of clause in there that would penalize them?
Yeah, I would imagine if they don't get it done, or if they, that was part of the discussion last month around the picnic tables and that, because those had such a long lead time for ordering. So he wanted to do the work early, but he didn't want to, that clause where you had to be done within a certain amount of
And they were
time.
looking for like an exception for the picnic tables.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, so, He still had time, it's just, I think initially it was June 1st, and I just don't have the details. I'll ask Beth to send out a quick email to you guys. She's on vacation this week, so I don't know that'll happen this week, but to just let you know if it's gonna get started, or if we're waiting until a different time.
Okay. So, all right, if there's no other further discussion,
Move to adjourn.
meeting's adjourned.
Look at us, we're so efficient.